line, eh? You don't want the fucking colons, though.
Oh, yuck. Just a big old buxom list. Big old pair of lists.
Big old natural drawn pair of lists.
Ooh, natural drawn. What does that mean?
Well, not like drawn on the computer or altered in any way. No twank.
Just straight out of the typewriter. Just a couple of big old lists with a couple of bullet points on the end of them.
Get off.
Episode 61 of Off Topic.
Oh, God. What a rude entrance.
Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Here comes the money. Here comes the funny. Hey, guys. I'm Jared. And I am your host of Off Topic. And here's Andy to my right.
Hello.
I'm feeling pretty down and out. Why, you may ask? Because not only did Jesus die and raise or whatever happened, I consumed a boatload of chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess we'll talk about that for a while.
Fucking A.
How was your Easter?
It was pretty damn good, to be honest with you. Started with like the early Thursday knock. I think we talked about this in our draft a couple of weeks ago. Love me an early Thursday knock, especially when you've got Friday off. As you do up the bandana. Those that can't see right now, Jared's putting on a skull bandana. Early Thursday knock. Nice quiet one in, actually, on the Thursday, which was good. And then my older brother and his wife, Caitlin, came up from Christchurch and stayed at my flat, which was a weird sort of situation. Not the fact that they were like over at my flat. It was just every time we have Easter, I'm the one usually going away, whether it's to Christchurch or up north or wherever. So
That is
like,
weird.
Like my family stayed at my flat for Easter.
Did you feel like usually when you go away, you're a bit like, I'm here, flick your shoes off, they hit the door, you don't give a rat's.
Yeah.
And then, but now you're like, hey, shoes off in my house, please.
Not so much like that, but I think like I got in a bit of a grouch on a couple of days.
Nice.
You know?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. That doesn't shock me in the slightest.
It was more like, I don't know, it was like my personal
There's
space.
too much energy in a room.
Yeah. I just needed some dull moments to happen. Which sounds so sad. Yeah. But end of the day, it was like, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to this long weekend, 4 days off, fuck yeah. And it just got a little bit overwhelming that it was like in my personal space.
Yeah, you can't go away from it.
No, that's
It's
right.
like when you first move out of home on, or for me anyway, like we always have big Christmases at mum's, or like, not real. Actually, we've never really had like massive Easters, but when you live at home, you're a bit like, geez, I really wish I could kind of vamoose out of this.
Yeah.
And then once I moved out of home, I was like, hell yeah. So when it's back to being you, I can understand when it's like at your house for the day.
Yeah.
That'd be a bit like, nah, buzz off.
Yeah.
Also, sorry if I'm a bit blasé. Like Andy said, I just put a balaclava. No, not a balaclava.
Bandana.
What's it called? Bandana on. Has skulls on it. Yeah.
Pretty cool now.
Yeah, so I can take it or leave it.
It looks hilarious, by the way. You've got like this peacock thing happening.
Yeah, I can't quite tuck it because my head's too big.
But anyway, that aside, like I had a great time. Love having my brother and his wife up. And we got up to a few activities on the Friday night. We just had a few beers. Old Goosey came down. We watched the league. It was good.
Nice.
Uncle Graham, shout him out. He came down for dinner and that. And then Saturday.
Yeah, up you Graham.
Saturday was a Riverhead Tavern lunch.
Delicious.
Boozy lunch, yeah.
Delicious.
It was a great pick. Gareth picked it out. He'd actually never been to the Riverhead Tavern.
What, since the, whatever?
Ever. Which
Damn.
is crazy. Yeah.
You go eat some ribs?
Nah, I just went for the burger.
Nice.
It's like a bit of just a standard.
Not a
thing.
ribs with the house steak cut fries and house aioli.
No, I was drinking beer. Like I didn't want to
Yeah.
like. You'd have to like lick all 10 fingers just to pick up the glass.
Yeah.
Wait, what? With both hands?
Don't have to suck the knuckle, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big lists and sucking knuckles.
Big lists. Here are big lists. Yeah, so it was good. Like he'd never been. He'd moved out of Auckland before or when he was about 18. So he never actually got to experience the tavern. So that was cool for him. Big mistake though. We committed. Do you commit blasphemy, or is it just
No, you commit genericide, but blasphemy is
callback?
Yeah.
Throwback.
court case. What was your one?
Blasphemy?
Blasphemy is. I don't know if you can commit it. I think you can commit crime.
It just is blasphemy.
You can be blasphemous.
Well, we were that. Fuck.
Yeah, well.
So we ordered jugs, and we'll get. Don't. It's the bandana.
Yeah, it is.
You're either 6 or 60. So we ordered a pair of jugs, and we were drinking and eating, and then we ordered another jug. I didn't realize this, but I completely forgot, and I just kept smashing the food because I was getting a little bit tipsy. I hadn't eaten anything other than like alcohol.
Yeah.
And I was nearly passed out. Like when you eat a whole lot of food and the food coma, you're gonna pass out.
Yeah.
So I was there like pretty much like the 6-year-old like out for lunch, like falling asleep at the table.
Oh, really?
And then the second jug came out and I went, oh wait, what?
Yeah, wait. Hang on a second.
Completely forgot about it. And
The meat sweats?
yeah, I was
Hate
I was
that, but love it.
Yeah.
Always self-inflicted, so you can't complain.
That's right. And we had to leave the pub with half of jug still in the jug.
What? Just because everyone was up to their britches?
Yeah, we couldn't finish it. And that is like not a thing in the Miller family.
That's how I know you didn't buy that jug.
How'd you fucking know?
You hang around you a couple of years, Millhouse, you pick up on a trick or two.
Yeah, I like to get my money's worth.
Money. Cling, cut the crap.
So that we were blasphemous. We left jugs on the table, fries on the table. I couldn't believe it. It's not like a normal Miller outing where everything goes.
Yeah.
Moving on. On Saturday night was the same thing. Oh, we all got home and crashed out Saturday night. More beers, more league. We watched a lot of footy.
Hell yeah.
And then on Sunday we went down to the the farmers markets
And hobby?
and hobby, and then to Little Creatures for another boozy lunch.
Nice.
Yeah, it's so back to back.
Oh, God, that's the life I want to live, is like farmers markets and then sampling some beers. Did you have craft beers there?
No, I actually drove because I still felt shit. Like I'd been drinking for 3 days straight already.
Yeah.
And so I drove, but I had the one Stein lager. They have them bottled there.
Nice.
Wore my Steiny shirt.
Hell yeah.
Just to
Shock.
Yeah. I always have to wear it to a craft tavern.
Yeah. Let them know,
Who the real beer is.
recognize who came before you and whatnot.
Yeah. I know there's some craft nerd in the comments being like, Stein lager is the craft beer, the way it's brewed.
Well, technically,
Shut up.
Shut up.
How was your weekend?
My weekend, man.
Your weekend,
so
man?
Thursday night, finished work, did the edit for last week's episode, got
Nice.
that wrapped up,
Yeah, you did that pretty quick, smart.
got that all finished up, got everything. So finally, and I don't know if anyone gives a shit about this, but Instagram and TikTok and that have finally added a feature, and I don't know if it's for everybody, but we have the creator thing, so maybe, which anyone can have. It's not a flex. My bad.
Whoa.
I don't know how that happened.
Update your software, Jared.
Yeah. But they can allow you to like schedule your posts now without having to have like another app that does it for you.
Yeah, well, that's so.
So you can actually just be like, you'll notice that sometimes our stuff comes out at like 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Yeah.
That's scheduled. I'm awake when it happens, but I'm not waking up and doing it.
Dude, I've just learned this about scheduled emails as well.
Oh, yeah?
That's a huge, like, insight, right? You could, like, if you need a reply to an email, you can just, like, tee it up for, like, 6 p.m. and they'll be like, damn, Andy was working late.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that's right.
I like having it's not like a voicemail, but it's like an email equivalent of a voicemail. So like when I go like put leave on, then they get the bounce back.
Yeah.
I like setting that up because you're just like, it's when you do that, it's when you change your phone message and everything and you're like, no one is getting hold of me. No one. But yeah, got all that set up on Thursday night, packed my bag, and then on Friday morning I woke up at about 5 o'clock and hustled my little tootsie little ass up north. Myself and the lady.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. Chuck's got a waff and reg for like the first time in my...
Fuck
Dude,
yeah.
me and waffs just don't get each other. I don't know why we have to have them and they don't want to meet me. So I was saying that like I've had not a waff so much longer than I've ever had a waff.
Damn, I don't think I'm not a complete. Of course I am. I'm the complete opposite. I've never not had a waff
Damn.
in my entire life. The only thing that I've ever like gone over is probably diesel cars.
Yeah, but they're stupid as well.
Have you ever? Oh, I was going to say you ever broke down. I've been in the car when you broke down.
Which one? Oh, the Beamer.
At the top of Albany Hill.
Yeah, we just rolled into the intersection.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that was odd.
one of the worst intersections in the whole of Auckland.
That was the only time I've broken down as well.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Have you ever ran out of gas?
No, I
though,
lie.
or like-
I've popped a tire 2 times on the way back from up north. Got a
Damn.
flat tire, but like changing a flat tire is actually, I lie. Both of them went horrendously. So
rudimental.
yeah, the first one.
Tell us.
The first one, we were in the middle of like bumfuck nowhere out the back of like Calcott Flats, and
no
got
service
a
out
got a
there,
flat
eh?
tire. It was like me and 2 other people in the car, and we sent one of them up to a house to ask them if they had like, I didn't have anything to like crack the nut off the tire,
Oh yeah.
and like a tire iron, and they brought one down and just we got it done. Thank God. That one was actually a lot easier. The other one was because I had those like specialized nut things. You know when you get like a set of mags or something and then you replace one of the studs with a special one so people can't just like jack you up and steal your rims?
Right. I don't know, but that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had one of those and then that had like worn out. So I was like, fuck, someone's going to need to bring like a drill or something to get this off. It had like bored out. And then also I had illegal spaces on my tires. So my tires sat out like a motherfucker. And
God, we have to sample that.
I'm overtired and the bandana's talking.
Big old pair of lists.
And Carl came down. He drove about 50 minutes to me. And I was like, dude, I don't know what the fuck's happening with this tire. And he was like, did you take a spacer off? And I was like, yeah. He's like, did you put it back on? And I was like, well, no, that's that. I think that's it over there. And I just forgot to put it on.
Oh,
Yeah, it made me feel like a real stupid virgin. Nothing wrong with virgins, but like,
they're just stupid.
you know, like being around cars or something. Like it happened to me today, where I went to pick up me and Carl went to pick up my brother's car, and we went to Michael's shop up by Malku,
Yeah.
and
Shout them out.
everyone was just sitting around an open hood talking shop.
Ah,
And
cool.
and then I know in my head I was like, sheesh, I haven't talked for like 4 minutes.
Puts bandana on.
Anyway, but yeah,
It's the one thing that I feel like I'm absolutely clueless at.
yeah. You want
I
to talk show tunes?
Okay, 2 things. No, I feel like I can hold my own in most sort of tradey sort of conversations.
Yeah.
Until it gets to like cars.
That was what the lady was saying to me the other day. She was like, we're talking about like if my stag do got planned tomorrow, what would I want to do? And I was like, I really can't be arsed with paintballing. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun, but like, I don't really. I don't enjoy shooting people more than I enjoy getting hit. Like more than I despise getting hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the fun doesn't outweigh the negatives.
No, I don't get the kick off like shooting other people with the paintball.
Yeah. And then I don't really
I
play
like firing the
golf like
gun.
I do it. And then she was like, man, you do come, like you are kind of the guy that would just want to like sit in a garage and have DMCs or something. And I was like, hell yeah, with all the boys? And she's like, all the boys. And I was like, no fooling. And
Say it ain't so.
well, imagine if your stag do was tomorrow, what would you hope that was included?
Ooh. We've talked about this before though. You know what?
Have we?
Well, like you know what I would like want. I would want some sort of, and this is gonna probably out me in a way, but I'd like to have as long as there was like a spa day sort of thing included. I would happily do all of the what are they, like the lists and the tasks and shit. I don't mind.
I'll lean in.
I don't mind doing all of that as long as it starts off, or it's like like massage, sort of. You know what I mean? Like do all of that sort of stuff. Well, I say spa day. I've never fucking been on a spa day.
Yeah.
I just want a fucking massage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Start off slow, do that sort of thing, and then get into the fucking wild night.
Some people, when they have like destination weddings, where you travel somewhere for the wedding, if everyone goes out and stays at like a location, the next day everyone will meet up and do some like relaxing or have a couple drinks, everything, and talk about the night the night that had just happened. Doing like a debrief, although I don't think that's that popular, and I assume that I'm gonna like whisk away into the tropics straight after my wedding or something like that. But I plan on like a world tour. But going for like a massage the day after your wedding or the day after a stag or something, and like making it like a day and a half long thing, and like do the big things the day before and then finish with that the next day and then part ways, like still bathing in oil.
Yeah, I see. I don't know if I could do it after, because if the night gets super fucking messy, the last thing I want to be doing is trying to relax with you cunts still around me. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Like, fuck. We've just had like a massive piss up, like on all sorts of shit.
Yeah,
It's getting crazy, and it's like I just kind of need a break off it. Like, imagine Jordan after his stag do, and how much he
didn't want to
fucking
see us
hated
for a
us
long
all.
time.
Yeah, maybe not like yourself, but like at least me, Bevan, and Joe was probably like, what the fuck did these guys plan for me?
Yeah, true.
You know, and I mean, I get it. Things escalated and got out of control more than we could rein it in.
Yeah. But that's what happens when passion meets energy. It's an unstoppable force, and sometimes you just got to bite down on the mouth guard and ride that wave. I've just mixed a whole lot of things.
These chairs are great, but they are not ergonomical for getting up.
No. Once you're in,
you're in.
That's why I've had this seat forever.
Yeah.
I have actually had the seat a long time.
So yeah, I'd say like I'd want to do the relaxation thing first, and then go into the night.
There's one thing I hate about a massage though, is when you go to come out from a massage, you come out still like within the oils. You're slick, and you can feel it like on your feet when you move your toes, and like you're greasy everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you have to go do something that like engages muscles, and you feel like you're undoing everything that was just done. You're like, no,
Right.
like I need to let this like sit for a day or two.
Right.
But at the same time, if it's a stag do and you're about to go have heaps of fun and just get like absolutely cross-eyed and blind, then who cares? Like it'll be fun either way.
I don't, maybe like casino in there at some point. Some sort of gambling.
Oh yeah, gambling.
Like, yeah.
Cigars,
Yeah.
suits.
Yeah.
Like a freaking, or like, this is not possible, but if we could somehow pull off a heist, like get a crew in, and then like Jason Statham's like, we had to bring in Roger for one last final one. We brought in our car man, Tommy, and then
You son of a bitch. I'm in.
and we somehow raided the Viblagio Hotel for millions.
The Viblagio.
But you get what I mean? Like, how sick would that be if it's like an escape room? Business idea. It's like an escape room, but they set it up for you and your friends to go, and you assemble a crew, and you have to pull off a heist, which is all like a staffed area.
Sick.
That would be so sick.
Yo, set up like heist rooms instead of escape rooms.
Yeah, or it's like a dedicated building and it's like guarded with alarms and lasers and that, and you have to like get chalk dusters and go like that, and then like we send in like Ryan to like cartwheel through the lasers or something.
We get to play our own music, like when you go through the lasers.
Yeah. Everyone just like turns a blind eye to it while you pull it off.
Yeah.
Just get lowered down and steal a crystal skull or something.
Fuck yeah. I rate that.
That's sick.
Fuck the stag, dude. Let's
Let's pull off a.
let's do this. TM. What do you?
Yeah.
How do you copyright shit? Don't steal our shit.
Yeah, don't. And then on Saturday, Saturday was a good day, and I went out for a fish.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Any day on the water, boys.
On the water.
So, Saturday for us up north was actually one of the only sunny days. We actually got pretty crook weather, but got the lady out on the boat. She became a lady of the sea. First time fishing with her, and said, "Wait, what's your thoughts? How was it?" And then she was like, "It was sweet. We just caught fish the whole time. I assume this is what it's like every time."
Oh God.
And
Young child.
yeah, I mean, she was saying it sarcastically, but I was like, man, like, no, when it sucks, it like sucks.
Yeah.
Because I'm not someone that loves fishing. I like catching fish for a few hours, and then I like going home.
Yeah, I'm not someone that likes the extended like fishing trip. Like a
If I was chasing fish and then they weren't willing to be caught,
yeah. See you later.
well, you're just motoring around the ocean, which some might love, but
like
not for me and my bandana.
We we say any day on the water.
Any day on the water where you're catching fish and it's nice weather.
No, I still agree with the whole any day on the water, but it's the anticipation leading up to it that's also fun. You know, like everything's ready, you're getting everything ready, you get up early, you're on the way out. It's not until like the first hour and like nothing's happening and you're like, fuck, here it comes.
Yeah, well, that song's already played.
Yeah. So that's when I go, okay, now see ya.
But no, I caught the biggest fish of the weekend.
Nice.
Not the biggest fish ever, but decent.
Records were broken.
Yeah. Then went back.
There is now an East Island.
But I lost my sunglasses, which was a pain in the ass.
There's a nice shark swimming around with some good sunnies on.
Oh, I know, and they were kind of like expensive, which pissed me off. And like, you're not one to spend a lot of money on sunnies, eh?
I am now. Yeah.
Fuck yes.
I've kind of started to dabble a bit. I think the second to last pair I bought were like $80, and that was for me was like pushing the boundaries.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit. And those are the ones now that I wear for work, the Duke ones. And I've had them for like 3 or 4 years now. And over Christmas, just gone about 4 months ago, I just spent $200 on a pair.
Nice.
I've worn them like 3 times.
Yeah.
But I've got a work pair and good pair, and
it is nice having a good pair of sunnies.
It
Like,
is.
they're not
It really-
scratched up.
No. And not just that though, like
They make you look like you're going on a heist or something.
you got that in your head now, eh?
Yeah. Jared with the sunglasses.
But it's not just that. Like I think because I've paid money for them, like good money, well, what I consider good money, you actually look after them and you appreciate it. Like
Yeah.
I used to just buy, or I'd get like the free ones when you buy like 2 big blue V's and be like,
Yeah, well, you wear like the freaking like 3D glasses from the movies.
it's like, these are doing the same thing, right?
The classic LMP ones that everyone on site wore.
Yeah. Do you remember the blue V ones? And
Yeah.
They were blue, and then
Yeah,
like you
they
take
had, like,
them
the
off,
orange tinned.
and they were blue, and you'd take them off, and then like your eyesight would be all fucked up.
Yeah, my eyesight's kind of fucked up anyway.
Nah, not like vision, but like the color of the whole world, like because they were blue tints, and
Right.
like, you'd take them off, and
Yeah, I get
everything's
what
like
you mean.
red. It was like
Yeah.
fuck, it was buzzy as
Cones and rods.
what?
Cones and rods. But yeah, I lost a pair of that's how your eyes perceive things, is through cones and rods. I lost a pair of David Beckhams over the
Woof.
yeah. Couple of pair of Davids.
Couple pair of lists.
But no, we were pulling up the anchor, and as we were pulling up the anchor, like chasing up the burley bag that was tied to the anchor was just fucking kingies and huge snapper in that. We were all like rushed to go have a look at it. And in that, between that, and I don't like, I would have seen them if I was looking down, like fall into the water. Like I feel like I would have seen that, but somehow they just weren't on the boat. I don't remember them falling off my head, but as it progressed and I couldn't find them once we got back and everything, I was like, oh, they've fallen somewhere.
Damn.
And yeah, had to cop that L plus ratio.
Oh, shit.
Nah, didn't. But we went back and it was nice. Like I hung out with the nieces a lot over the weekend, seeing the fam, and the lady who has like a, like, you know her, she's got like a slight accent.
Yeah.
And she was reading to my niece Neve so much over the weekend that when Neve was reading the books back to us, she's not reading them, but she has been read them so much she's like memorized the books.
Right.
But she would say it how the lady would say it and read them back with an accent, and she just kind of like developed it over the weekend. It was real strange.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. And then little Layla was just like, you know, she's 2 and just, I don't know, like in that real cute phase of baby stuff where you're like, she just goos and gars and sounds like Donnie, but then out of the blue she'll just crack like a perfectly molded sentence, and then you're like, say that again, and she just can't, and her attention's gone. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Sunday, watched the Wars in the background. Oh, I had the Wars on in the background. We did a talent show because it was Kinsley's birthday, and she said, I want us to do a talent show while we were up there. And we were like, okay. It started with Kinsley and Ethan, my brother and his partner, and they started by, Ethan was like, can I please have a volunteer from the crowd? Took my mum up. And then he had a sketch pad and he was like sketching her face on a pad, and he's like, is this you? And turned it around and he just had a phone on the pad with a photo of mum's face like real zoomed in.
Nice.
Yeah, it was classic. And then Kinsley scoffed some fruit and then put a rubbish in a bin or something. There was something about it, but it weaved in somehow. Alicia
You can
and
tell
Carl,
when you zoned out. Like,
Alicia and Carl swapped clothes and did imitations of each other, which was nice. I feel like that was like a thing for them to just like cathartically get something off their chest. Like Alicia,
sounds crack up.
he said, stop bugging me, and she was like, I drink too much. And then like, mum and dad.
that's dangerous as
Yeah,
well.
I know. That's what I mean. Like they saw the platform and they were like, we won't go at each other's throats, but we will for laughs.
Yeah.
And then mum and dad came out in hoodies with joints rolled up and rapped Colt 45, but dad was on the harmonica, and mum, who swore she knew all the words, just froze. And then for us, I was unconscious on the ground, and the lady did a step-by-step tutorial about how to do CPR.
Sick. So you just played dead.
Yeah.
Sick talent, bro.
Yeah. And then I showed what to do if someone's choking, which is you just hit their back.
Oh, so you did it together. Okay.
Yeah.
that's cool.
We didn't win.
Who won?
Wait,
who voted?
It was a tie. We did like a Survivor style vote.
Right.
Where I think Ethan and Kinsley and mum and dad tied for most votes.
Nice.
Or Alicia and Carl.
That's
Anyway, we came last.
yeah. That's a pretty cool thing to do with the family, though.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty good idea.
Nice.
I mean, take that on board if you want.
The whole like changing clothes and like doing each other's impressions and stuff. That like jogged a idea for like Bevy's next big party. Are we all in agreement for that?
What's that?
That we're all gonna go dressed as different
Bevins?
Yeah, different Bevins.
Yeah, that's
like,
hilarious.
Like,
Oh yeah, man.
I think that's such a cool party idea. Like, if you've got a mate that's got so many or had so many different personality, actually, not that his personality changes.
No,
But
he's just gone through phases.
Different eras,
And
you know,
they're so
like,
easy to outline.
Yeah.
Like you can tell when one chapter ended and another started.
yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Like, if you have a party, and if they're all good with it, obviously you don't want to make fun of them if it's at their expense. But I know someone like Bevy will be into that, and I think it'll be hilarious.
Yeah. So, and yeah, anyway, came home. On the way home, swung in to eat some KFC. Had some delicious KFC. I won't play the review on this, but you can find it on Instagram. But yeah, all in all, I'll summarize it. I had a fantastic little KFC stop in Whangarei, I believe, West, on State Highway 1 next to the McDonald's. It was fresh because, especially if you're driving home, there's not much worse than getting in the car and trying to eat KFC while you're driving is a bit of a cunt.
Yeah.
And getting bad KFC is real bad.
Yeah.
And I formed a little list here for you, Andy.
Oh, gosh. Oh,
and it's
boy.
lists of things that I think are on par with getting shitty KFC.
All right.
When you go to use the sauce or mustard and you get that weird pre-cum stuff all over your food.
Ah, yeah, like
the clear, like
yeah,
it
the
hasn't
clear
been
stuff.
shaken.
Yeah, that's fucking, yep. Either equally just as bad, the crusted bit at the top when you, like if you haven't cleaned it off and you squeeze, and that gets in your food as well. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know which one's worse.
The little nugget thing.
Yeah.
When you go into McDonald's to order and you see the frozen Coke machine is still just liquid, and you don't even have to ask, you know it's just not working.
Yo, what the fuck is with that, eh?
Apparently, and I knew someone that used to date a manager of a McDonald's, and I asked him about it once, and he said, he was like, if we leave it running all day, it will freeze and get quite icy. To keep the consistency, you have to chill it to a certain point, but there will be a time in the day where you have to let it go to liquid and then re-chill it again, and it's shut down in that time, and it's periodically.
Can it just not be at like prime time?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
I didn't ask for the ins and outs of it, but this dude seemed to know his stuff.
Give me his number. I'm gonna fucking call him, tell him to sort this shit out.
My next one is when you go to dip in for some Cadbury favorites and you just get a handful of cherry ripes.
Ah, yuck.
And I'm going to leave out Turkish Delights because I really like them. But I understand that if you were going to do a tier of Cadbury favorites, cherry ripes and Turkish Delights probably down low.
Yeah, I think I would second that the Turkish Delight would it'd be slightly above cherry ripe. Just get rid of cherry ripe out of the favorites box. That's no one's favorite. Like you might say it's okay, but it's definitely not your favorite.
Yeah.
Hence the fucking name of it.
And then the last one. So it's Christmas time, right? Everyone's passing around biscuits. You're having a cup of tea. Someone cracks open a sampler box with a variety of biscuits in it.
Oh.
Now, there is a hierarchy to the sampler box of biscuits.
Oh.
You got your Chit Chats, you got your Toffee Pops. Those are first cabs off the rank every time.
Yeah.
Then it goes to the next person. Maybe you might chuck a pink wafer in there. Yeah, like I say, that's also up for debate. I like the icing because I'm a child.
I'm a big wafer man.
Yeah, big wafer guy. Good for dipping, I think, as well. Then you got your chocolate thins who do a job for someone with a sweet tooth, especially a child, and they go on par with the chocolate chip cookie.
Yeah.
And then you're left with the fucking cellar dwellers, which is what comes to you. And when you're getting handed a box of biscuit samplers, when you look and all you see is a dark chalky Wheaton, the wheat biscuit, which is frankly rank, and shortbread and Crispies, which I'm sorry, are just biscuits that take on the flavor of whatever you dunk it in.
Yeah.
So I don't want a biscuit that doesn't have an identity.
Although I feel like your shortbread, you're doing it dirty. I
understand the love for shortbread, but if I'm assuming I'm a child in this situation, if I get handed just a shortbread with nothing to dunk it in,
yeah,
it's like eating chalk sometimes.
yeah, okay, I'll give you that. It's like those melting moments that like you go to take is it melting moment?
Yeah,
and you take a bite and you just get like dust.
Yeah, it's like a graveyard in your mouth. You know what I mean? Ashy. So yeah, that's my list of things that I see the same as getting bad KFC.
Food related.
Yeah, they all kind of were food related.
There is nothing worse than like you're looking for like a really good meal and you're excited for it and it's just subpar.
It's like getting edged because it's like when you make love to a woman, right?
Oh, tell me how that happens.
But you've made love before, and it was the night of no. But you made love before, and it was the night of nights, and then now you've been seeing each other for a while, and you're just thinking like, where's the pizzazz gone? Maybe it's time, rather than friggin' holding yourself in that crazy position or, holding that weight or going that extra mile and just fucking biting down on your mouth guard and really getting into it, whatever, you kind of just roll on your side, or you kind of out of puff. You're happy to admit you're out of puff. That's like having really good KFC for a while there, and then next time you go back, you know how good it can be, and you just get shitty KFC. I'd actually, now that I say it, those things don't really relate.
I like where you were going with this, although like you said it with confidence.
Yeah, that's all you need.
It's like a shit route.
Yeah, because you've had good ones.
Yeah.
So you aim high and you hope it's going to be like that every time.
Yeah.
It's not.
It just sucks when you pay for it.
Yeah.
The KFC, not the
Have
route.
you ever been or done the breaking up with someone, been broken up with or dumped someone, and then either party's kind of thought that there was no reason given?
Yeah.
A lady's put a thing on TikTok, and I wanted to show you it. And
the swords came
holy
up.
shit! She kind of explains almost. So she explains it from a girl's point of view, but I think you can sub them in and out for each other, and I will play it for you now.
Open
Oh gosh, no. Did I save it? Yes.
If you are a boy who has ever been dumped by your girlfriend for seemingly no apparent reason and you're looking for answers, this is what happened. Okay, this is you guys. You guys are in a happy relationship, and now all of a sudden you have one simple, fixable problem. For this example, we're going to use no good morning text. And your girlfriend who loves you, she's really happy with you. She comes to you and she tells you, she's like, hey, do you think we could start doing good morning texts? Like, it'd mean a lot to me if you text me good morning. So you, her loving boyfriend, agree to give her good morning texts. But something happened, and for whatever reason, you stopped giving her good morning texts. So now we have a bigger problem. She now thinks that you don't care enough about her to send her good morning texts, even though she asked. But she's going to be like, you know what, this is still kind of a small problem. I'm just going to remind him. She reminds you, you're like, oh my gosh, that's right. I did agree to that. Okay, I will text you good morning. Unfortunately, though, you didn't follow through again. Now we have confirmed that you do not care enough to text her good morning, even though this is a simple, fixable problem. This is now a big problem. So now your girlfriend, who has never picked fights before in her life, starts picking a bunch of little fights about all these different things because she believes that you do not care enough. Through all of these picking fights with you, though, she still loves you and likes you enough to want to be with you, even though you guys have all these little problems now. Until one day, these become unattractive to her. She's going to realize that all of these little things that you do that remind her that you don't care about her enough are unattractive. And so now the problem is not these things. It's not even that you don't care enough. It's not even that she never got good morning texts. It's that she literally does not like you anymore. Does not like you. Now, unfortunately, she has to break up with you. And then you're going to ask her why. And she's going to list out all the reasons why she has to break up with you. And you are going to say, no, you should not break up with me because of those reasons, because from now on, I am going to do all of these things. And you will never have to worry about me never doing these things again because I'm going to do them every single day. But remember, it doesn't even matter if you were to do all of these things anymore, because the problem now is that she's unattracted to you and just simply does not like you anymore. And now she's going to go move on with her life, and you're going to go and tell your friends that you got dumped by absolutely no reason and that you guys all hate her and that she's crazy for dumping you over something so simple. But in reality, she never dumped you at all. This was a slow-moving process that eventually led to the final reason, and you weren't dumped. You probably actively chose not to give her what she said she needed, and now you guys aren't together anymore.
That was a lot to take in. So basically, and I think it's interchangeable between both parties, it's wanting something small, right? So she uses the example of like a good morning text, which I don't know. I don't care if you send good morning text to your partner or not. Everyone's got their own lane. But it's the sweet, yeah, I'll do that, and then you break it. And then it's the amount of times you go crawling back, but for each thing it starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So eventually, because you don't value them, you see them as nothing. So when it's breaking point for her, because everything's hurt her progressively more and more, you turn around and you're like, wow, this whole thing was over nothing. She did it over nothing. She's crazy and that. She is crazy. But I just found it interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the logic behind that. And I think it's a very important thing for probably a few people to actually see and listen to kind of understand that. But at the same time, like, I'm also like kind of baffled that, like, I don't know if that's because it's gone through her head and that's like what's happened to her and she's been able to formulate this.
Like map it out.
Like, map it out. But you got to realize, like, majority of guys, like, aren't thinking of all of that. Sort of like what's going on in the back, like that sort of thing. Yeah, that's hard. Like, I'm acting like she's the one that's just broken up with someone. I don't know, but where was the communication? She said, "Oh yeah," and then you reiterate the good morning text. Okay, I'll do that. And then when those other problems split off from that, it was like, well, where's the communication that
she said? Like, basically, that's the. Once those problems split off, that comes from you coming back and saying like, yes, I'll do it. And then you might do it for a little while and then you just start not doing it again. And it's like, that's just one, this all stemmed from one small thing I asked you to do, which if you could just like put your partner first for a bit and like keep out of your own way, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. But then like it all boils down to, it gets to the point of having an ick when it's not how many of those things that you've done. Like, you can tally them all up all you want, but all it turns into now is just one giant unattractive quality that you like can't follow through with a simple task. And
I feel like I've been in that position of the person that's been done. If like break it down like that like in terms of those problems arising, and I can see that. But also, like, why would you stay with someone if they were going to cause you that much fucking drama? You know what I mean?
Dude, I've done it.
You know what I mean? Like, why? Like, okay, yeah, you want the good morning text. Yes, 3 days, okay. And then you forget or you stop doing it. And then all these things that eventually make you unattracted to them. It's like, well, and I know like a good morning text or whatever is not that hard, but it's just the example.
It's substitutable,
Yeah. But like, why would you stay with someone if they had this list of rules that they wanted from the relationship that you were like not happy to give them?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I have definitely in my head listed why I've not been into someone, but then still been with them. And then I was like obviously I got out of it, but it took a lot longer to the point where like it was one of those things where as soon as it was done, it was like, why the fuck did I put myself through that?
Yeah.
But then there's like this thing.
Go.
It's one of those things where you're like, I know this person's an asshole, but at the time you really cared about them and you like want what's best for them. And then it's like, it's also one of those things where you're like I know it's a quality that a lot of people have is that they want to like save someone. And that's not like, I'm not saying that the person I was talking about needed to be saved. They're a well-rounded individual. But it was just one of those things where it was like, if we could, like, making it work seems like a nice idea at the time, but once you kind of just step back and carry on with your life, it's like, God, that's just a blip. Who really gives a fuck?
Yeah, I mean, if you break it down or zoom out, like you say,
yeah,
it's.
But just small. When you're in it, it's so just like,
oh, it's
this
the world.
Is so confronting.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I can see both sides. I'm playing devil's advocate, sitting on the fence, whatever you want to fucking call it. But I think that's very, very situational.
It is.
And there should be clear communication. If you're someone in a relationship that feels that way about their partner, that wants something like that, and so you tell them to do it, I think there needs to be clear communication. That's what it gets
like
to
the whole thing is. I think you're right there. Like, the whole thing kind of seems like a communication breakdown.
Yeah.
And also just being able to do, and I'm guilty of it, man. Like, even now I'm super guilty of it, of being asked to do something and then it just, like, not placing enough importance on it because it doesn't necessarily involve me. Like, it's something that someone else asked for.
Yeah.
So, like, it's kind of like a selfish thing where immediately you're just kind of like, oh, whatever I'm doing might be a little bit more important right now. And then next thing you know, it's out of your mind.
Yeah.
And I think if you can identify that and make that like something you can change, then you're on the right path. If not, then it can head down this other thing that becomes like an unattractive quality.
True. I agree. But as long as at each step there's communication with your partner, because if that person that gets dumped, like obviously feels like it's come out of nowhere, but if it's not communicated along the way,
then of course it's going to feel like
it comes out of nowhere. Yeah. So like you could be the one that is dumping people or dumping the person, and you've had this whole thing fucking mapped out, and then it's like, oh, you know, of course he's gonna, or they're gonna feel like they've got. It's no reason you've not told them throughout the. Like,
I wonder how much of it you hold in just to like fester on.
That's right.
Yeah. Japan's annual penis festival is unlike anything else.
What? And they got like the smallest wangs on record.
I don't know, man.
I swear, like Japan or China, or
it'll be something like that. It'll be them.
Let me Google smallest penises.
Don't. I don't need my face on the internet. Well, you Google that. In early April, scores of revelers gather in the city of Kawasaki, about 30 minutes south of Tokyo, to celebrate Kanamata Matsuri, Japan's infamous penis festival, with a name translating roughly to the Festival of Steel Phallus. Kanamata Matsuri's main festivities have taken place on the first Sunday of April since 1969.
Hey, nice.
The whole festival centers on the organ and fertility, and attendees get to erect giant penis statues, handheld shrines, enjoy penis-shaped lollipops, buy penis-shaped candles, and obviously dress as penises. Someone said, "It's so fun and unique, such a different experience." So basically what it is that 50,000 people gather around to celebrate penises, which I think is really nice. No, because like...
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you.
This is also surrounded by the whole thing of like HIV awareness and whatnot. But I think the penis gets a bad rap, man. Also, I just noticed that everything here, all the pictures provided, circumcised. Ain't no one from the hood made it.
Oh, God. Yeah, where's the fair representation?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Where my skinny boys at?
Celebrate penises.
Yeah.
However you like.
So I was just thinking, New Zealand, have they ever had something similar? And I think we did. And I think we've really missed out on it. And I didn't realize that we stopped doing it until I thought about it. But shout out to the mid-2000s where we used to have boobs on bikes.
Oh, yo! Yeah. Holy shit. You just went there.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's something I have not thought about in years.
Man.
What a great thing.
It was the only time you could see boobs on the news.
Yeah. What happened to that?
I don't know. Like the guy that put it together, his name was Steve Crow. He was a guy that put together porn in New Zealand, I believe. And he thought that he was like, his whole thing was like, if men, he was a real pioneer of the free the nipple movement. Like he was like, men can be bare chested in public, so why can't women?
My man.
And he saw people protesting and being topless in public, and he was like, let's jump on the back of some fucking Harleys. Let's take this thing down Queen Street.
Yo.
And who's not going to see a big pair of lists? You know?
With a couple of bullet points.
Yeah.
Fucking A. Bring back Boobs on Bikes 2023.
I think it'd be something that like it would be celebrated even more now. Like it wouldn't be so much like I'm sure at the time it was really one of those like Woodstock pervy old dude kind of things where it was like, let's go see a pair of tartars and like a bike that I like.
Yeah, because we got the internet now.
Yeah. But you could also, like, if you go on Wikipedia and search boobs on bikes, there's just boobs if anyone's feeling frivolous. And
Yeah,
that's part of my job. I hate to say it. Sorry.
Do you think that the world's a bit too fucked up now that like people are just going to get offended?
But it could be celebrated in the right way, and if it could be dressed in like awareness.
I'm wholeheartedly agreeing with you, and I believe it can be celebrated in the right way. But there will be people.
You see just as many boobs at festivals.
Yeah, I see more.
Spray painted and beer.
Maybe we shouldn't do this. No, I think it's as long as like you also throw like a good cause behind it. Is it to do like for breast cancer and shit?
Exactly. That's what I mean. If it's dressed properly or not dressed, but like celebrated in the right way.
Yeah.
Like this penis festival is, where you can actually
Let's not do penises on bikes.
just a little freaking like shrimp like under a little saddle, a little leather saddle. Each to their own. I'll live my truth. UFC? You watch UFC?
Yeah, I did. Bought the card because I've got a Sky Sport Now thing now.
Nice.
Similar to like Sky Go sort of thing, but for the smart TV. So I ended up buying the card. It was a good day. Good day of biffs.
It was. It was a nice day of biffs. I actually thought it was one of the better cards in terms of quality of fights that I'd seen in a while.
And I don't think, I could be wrong here, but the main card, there was not a single decision. It all went,
No, yeah.
all had finishes, which was great. Excuse me, sorry.
Made it run a little short, but what can you do?
Oh, that's fine though. Like I'd rather see
I'd
that.
rather see the excitement than just, yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like I agree seeing some of the technical stuff, and if it has to go to decision, then fine. I'm happy with that.
A
But
technical war.
It does give a bit more excitement when you see like see a knockout or a submission.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say. And up our boy Izzy, man. Fuck.
Dude, he was on.
He was.
He was on from the start of the week.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I do a lot of my internet dwelling on Reddit, and the MMA subreddits, the UFC subreddits, are very vocal. They're not Izzy fans.
Yeah.
They see him as brash. And Reddit's like a lot of like, no, we respect the real martial artists. Like it's kind of like elitist in that way. And like they
How's
don't
he
like
not a
any
real martial artist?
It's more like if he said nothing and then just played the game and was like, I had a great fight, he's a great opponent, that's that, and then walked off, he would get a lot more praise than by doing anything. It just seems like a real like elitist place to hang out.
I know what you mean. Like as in the more respectful kind of of martial arts.
That seems to be what they prefer.
Right, I'm with you.
But to see the people that were calling the dog collar and that, he was getting called cringe one day, and then the next day after the fights, they were saying like, how many more till we talk about him being the greatest? And it was like, dude,
Yeah.
pick a side.
Pick a lane, Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit.
No, I'm real happy for him. I don't know how I felt. Like I think I was probably still a little bit scared for him going up against Pereira.
Fuck yes, dude.
Like that dude's an absolute fucking animal. And that's, you know, it's not me being like, oh fuck, I'm not backing my boy. Like I've always support Adesanya.
I'm shit scared. Every
no
time
matter
he
what.
gets put up against someone. When he went up against Rob Whittaker, I was like, dude, Rob Whittaker's an animal. I'm scared for this one.
Yeah.
When he went up against Costa, I was like, Costa is an animal. I'm scared for this one.
Yeah, and he
Didn't give a fuck about Vittori or Kennedy. Sorry.
Nah.
But
Even Romero, kind of.
Ramiro put shits at me.
Yeah, I thought the same. But yeah, I don't know. I just, not that I didn't back him to do it. Like I'll always support him, but also like the neutral side of me was also just kind of like, fuck, that's a scary guy.
Yeah. But contender Izzy is yet to be beaten. His only loss in the UFC was him losing the title.
Yeah.
Or challenging for another title, but he was already title holder. So do you call it a contender fight?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right. But yeah, big ups as he gets knockout second round. How do you feel about his like celebrations and that? Like, because there's a lot of stuff around the internet that's like not on board with what he did.
About the whole kid thing?
Yeah, well, a bit of both. Like, I think the arrow thing was pretty cool.
I think the arrow thing was fucking sick.
Yeah.
People were debating if he made that up on the spot. I think he 100% had it planned. It was like, if I win, I'm doing that. That was sick. That was one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, like I've celebrated in the moment in things in sports. There's no way that your brain can conceive something like that on the spot, especially when you're dialed into the moment, such as like combat sport.
It kind of like shows just how cerebral he is in the moment, like how aware he is to be like, okay, this, and this, and then to quickly be like to Joe, like, hey, can I please hold the mic? I'm not going to fucking be a dick about it.
Yeah.
And then I thought his speech was pretty cool about the whole like, it's one of those things where it's like, it must suck to be down and out but you're like a millionaire and you're still like the best in the world. But I think it's also a message that can resonate anywhere, of any skill level, of anyone in any situation. I think that was the good thing about it. And that's what makes him one of the most like marketable people in the world.
Yeah.
Is that he's not just speaking for a certain group. When he wants to, he can kind of touch the nerve of everybody.
Yeah.
And then the kid thing, fuck, fair play, man. I don't care. They did it to you. And then when in the lead up to the thing, they were freaking talking about it and saying like, oh, you know, we did that. And he just straight back. I don't know, sucks shit.
Yeah, I think it's all a facade, right? Like, as amazing as UFC is, and how like authentic and real, and it is the best of the best sort of combat sports, I think there's also like a WWE sort of showman style.
It's heading that way.
Yeah.
If it wasn't before, it's definitely heading that way.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you've got the whole like vlogs, the week leading up
Embedded,
vlogs,
yeah.
the press conference, the weigh-in, all of and they all have their narrative, and to like make it
It all
in
gets
this game.
spun away because at the end of the day, it's a pay-per-view event. You got to sell it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's heading in that direction, and I think that whole thing, they just like they both feed on it because they know that end of the day that's going to get more views and pay them more.
Yeah,
you know
get
what I
more
mean?
money.
Like, exactly. Yeah.
And like Ariel Helwani made a good point today when he was breaking it down. He was like, Alex Pereira's been online since the fight. He's put out his statement since the fight. Not once has he said anything about Izzy acting out. He doesn't care about it. I think he just assumes it's fair play. Like, oh, you got me back. I think the people care a lot more than the fighters do. And at the end of the day, like...
But I also don't see Alex Pereira going on Twitter being like, and then like trying to flame Izzy.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
swear that dude lives in a forest. Like,
yeah, but like him rocking up and like before the like during fight week with the big like Pikachu denim jacket and everything, being like the whole like anime thing. Like I thought that apparently he is a pretty funny guy, but it just sucks that you don't get, because of the language barrier, you don't get the
a shtick.
Yeah, like the strife. It all goes through somebody.
Yo.
But no, it was sick. And, you know, Pereira now apparently an hour to go before the weigh-ins on Friday, he still had 2 pounds to cut. Like he's struggling to make that weight. So whether you go up, I don't know. I think he should. I think like...
How do you feel on the trilogy? Where do you stand?
Well, yeah.
I agree with what Izzy
What else
said.
do you do? Like, I understand Izzy's being like, forget the kickboxing stuff. I think people that are like, okay, cool, Izzy's 1 out of 4 now. He doesn't have the right to call it that. No, you're 1-on-1 in MMA, which of course may scream for a trilogy, but the way that Izzy and Dana both pretty much said like, nah, you can tell what way it's going to go.
Yeah, I agree. But I agree with the statement that Izzy made about it, saying like Izzy spent how many years in this game to like, he earned the rematch straight away. Whereas Pereira hasn't earned the rematch.
No.
You know what I mean? As much as a trilogy would sell, Pereira, it's just another point where like Pereira needs to go back now. If he wants to stay a middleweight, has to work up the ranks and get back to Izzy.
I think it makes the fights, like his potential fights, even more exciting. Like seeing him against the Robert Whitakers, maybe even the Costas, the Kamzats, like...
How's he do against a wrestler?
Exactly.
You know,
but I think
at 205.
If he was coming up, yes, that would be very exciting. But to know that he can fuck around with a champ, like now that he's been there, now that he has to go back down and do those fights, I think it even adds more to it.
Yeah,
but then also the matchups with him up at 205 are pretty cool. Like him versus Yuri.
Oh,
are you kidding me?
Huge.
Who wouldn't want to see that?
Yo, have you seen Pereira's knockouts?
Yes.
Brutal.
Yes.
Like,
that dude looks like granite, and his skin looks like it's made of old saddles. Like,
yo,
he looks
scary.
tough as nails, man.
I hope. I got love for Jamal Hill, but I hope Yuri beats him, and I'd love to see Yuri.
I like
Pereira.
how Yuri's just like in a tank at the moment, just like, I will be back.
Yeah, he's like Dragon Ball Z, like recuperating.
Yeah. Did you see the clip of Robert Whitaker watching the fight online?
No, but I heard what he said about that at the start, how he's like, I don't want either of them to win. I just want them to hurt each other so bad.
Yeah. But it was like, he was watching it, and then you see him get the initial surprise of the knockout, and he's like, holy fuck. And then you see him realize, fuck, Izzy's the champ again. And everyone, when Pereira was champion, was saying if he beats Izzy again, Rob's going to be that guy. He can maybe bring the wrestling. He can bring that aggression.
Yeah.
He might be the answer to the puzzle. And you can just see it fall away from Robert realizing like, man, I thought I might have been the next title contender, and now God knows what happens.
Oh, poor Rob.
And no, I don't want to see the Draco's Duplessis freaking versus Adesanya fight.
Fuck. What a fucking dick bag.
I think that whole like, I'm the real African, I've got an African passport versus like that, and that's going to turn into really ugly like apartheid, weird African politic chat very quickly.
I don't know,
and I don't want it to get involved.
I don't know much about that, but dude, I'm not saying nothing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it's just that I could see that getting very messy.
I think I made an analogy about that, like, but I can't remember what it was. But saying that saying that you're from Africa, but you're from South Africa is like saying what was it? Saying that you're from Brazil, but you're from America, something like that.
Yeah,
okay.
it's like
you're in South America. Sure, it's America.
Yeah,
but you're not in America. You're not in the United States.
Right. I see what you mean.
Saying that you're from Africa, but you live in South Africa, it's not the same thing.
Yeah, it's a line I kind of don't want to toe.
Yeah.
Yucks. What's your yuck this week, my man?
Give me a second. Oh, still had the penis list on here.
Hell yeah. Is Japan the smallest?
No, it's not even the smallest 10.
Oh, good on you.
Get up, Japan.
Yeah.
Literally. Sucks to be...
Can you read top 10?
Top 10. From... Okay. Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, Bangladesh, Hong Kong, Sri Lanka, Philippines, Taiwan, Burma?
Yeah.
Cambodia.
Very regional.
Yeah.
Japan lucky to scrape through.
They just measured up. My yuck for this week. So when we were out at Little Creatures on Sunday, Easter Sunday, I was a bit surprised about some ancient laws that I've never heard of. Crazy, right?
Yes.
So you have to... So they told us about these laws, right? When you go there, and we just wanted to have a few drinks, a few nibbles and whatnot out in the sun, Sunday. Love it. Bish, bash, bosh.
Yeah, yes, please.
They, apparently, according to law, you have to purchase a full meal before ordering alcohol.
On Easter Sunday?
On Easter Sunday.
I feel like I may have heard that before, and I didn't think it was real.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think it was real. It's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was going to order a full meal anyway.
Yeah.
But, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's a big yuck. Like, what?
That's a tricky one. I don't know the reasoning behind it. I feel like it's probably something to do with like religion things.
Yeah,
like
well, it is. It is, and it's in legislation. But I also don't want to poke the bear too much and be like, "Hey, I'm not religious. I should have alcohol," because then I might not get those 4 days off.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah,
like,
I was gonna say if you're gonna do that, you know,
I might just not speak on it.
oh,
but still.
no, I have to order a pizza.
Yeah. But I thought it was a bit strange and something that I'd never even heard of. So
that is odd. But I also do feel like I may have heard that somewhere. But I also, when you said that you went out on Easter Sunday, I was kind of shocked that it was open at all.
yeah, same to be honest. I think we were like, oh, let's go farmers market, and then I was like, oh, Little Creatures is down there, and we're like, oh, yeah, we'll see if it's open, and it was. So
Buzzy.
yeah, big yuck, but also like. I want you guys listening to like know about it, but let's not bring it up.
Yeah,
please. Like, just be wary next Sunday.
Next year.
Next
we
Sunday.
had a guy at the batch who, I don't know if he was just straight lying to us, but during the UFC, a guy came over and he was like, "Do you guys have any piss that I can buy off you? We've got a 21st just down the road, and we cannot go get alcohol."
You fucking idiot.
That's what. Like,
Wait, how old is this dude? Is he 20?
around 21?
Yeah, idiot.
We were like, "Oh my god, ning-nongs. But then Ethan made a good point. He was like, I think they're probably just making an excuse to get some piss for the UFC.
Right.
And then, like, you got to, you know, it's like the whole, when you want a day off school and you go full tilt and you're like, Grandma cocked it.
Yeah. Grandma died like 6 times this year.
Yeah.
Needs 6 days
That's
off.
a miracle. I love Jesus.
Yeah, I don't, that's a tricky one. I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say they actually fucked up. I don't know. Like at 21, I don't think I knew those. Like,
no, I
the
stuff
buying
up
alcohol.
every time.
Yeah,
I do it every time.
exactly.
My yuck is ants.
I thought that was your yuck.
Oh,
That
yeah,
dude.
that's my yuck. Okay, but also ants. They're kind of, they're just kind of fucking me off at the moment. They're hard to get rid of once they're around.
Yeah, it's the weather as well.
Drives them in.
As soon as it starts raining, you start getting them inside.
Yeah, so they can piss off. Anyway, what's your yum, man?
Bug bomb.
Oh, shit, I thought that wasn't going to work. Andy, what's your yum this week?
My yum this week comes from a football game this morning.
Nice.
Wrexham FC.
I think I saw a clip about this, but I don't know anything about the storyline, but I saw a happy person.
Yeah, woo. So I've watched, if you haven't seen it, on Disney Plus, Wrexham Till I Die. It's a documentary where Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney bought a Welsh football club in the non-English football league. And I thought the first season was great. I enjoyed it. I'm a big football fan, and a big fan of those two actors. And this may be a bit of a spoiler, so you could turn it off now if you want, if you're waiting to see the series itself.
Yeah.
But I've been following the football. So there's 2 teams that are going neck and neck this year, and for the National League to get promoted, you have to win, and then the next 4 placings, so 2nd to 5th, go into a knockout style tournament, and only 2 go up.
Oh, yeah.
And first is Wrexham FC, and second is Knox County, and they played each other this morning for what's considered a 6-point game. Back and forth all game. 2-2 right towards the end. Wrexham score 3-2, and then right last kick of the game, Notts County get a penalty, and Ben Foster steps up and saves it. Ben Foster used to play in the Premier League, and is now retired, but got signed for an 8-game deal to Wrexham FC. Yeah,
That's the fuck it, I'm in
yeah.
type.
Well, see, the thing is, back in the day, Wrexham used to be up in the English leagues,
Oh, yeah.
and he actually got his start at Wrexham FC. So it's not actually like I'm just going to do it for the fame.
Yeah, he's going back to his roots.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
that's cool.
So which makes it awesome. And now with that win over Notts County, they're 7 points off winning the league and getting promoted into League 2, which is actually like paid football.
Yeah. Cool, man.
It's so fucking cool to
That is cool.
see these guys like buy a club and then just like revamp it inside and out.
Yeah.
And then like,
That's nice. God, imagine buying it turns to shit. What kind of television that would make. Or if they'd even make it.
yeah, they might just scrap the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I think Ryan Reynolds is worth like $1 billion or something.
Shit.
And like that, like it's just 7 points, 4 games left, and if they can do it, they go up, and it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for this next series, and just to see like Ben Foster come back out of retirement to play for like a small club.
My guy, never met you. Speaking of that, Ted Lasso season 3 is now out.
Still haven't watched it.
Neither, but
I mean the whole thing.
yeah, but I need to watch that. You reminded me.
I do a lot of like watch clips of Ted Lasso on YouTube, which I know is probably ruined the whole thing, but like
it's like it's not one of those shows that's like drama or anything. It's just
give
fun.
me the funny Jason Sudeikis bits.
Yeah, the whole thing. Him and Coach Beard, great guys.
Yo,
My yum this week is the humble cabbie cream egg. I never eat it outside of Easter, but fuck me, I devoured them like I was paid to.
yo.
I love them. I don't care that they changed the recipe. I still really like them. And
They've gotten smaller.
yeah, they have.
Actually, not a bad thing though. Easier to manage.
They are.
Just eating a full one of them.
I didn't.
Diabetes.
Yeah, I didn't eat as much chocolate as I thought I would, but I still ate a lot. So, back on the wagon this week, and yeah, all prep for hibernation.
Bring it on.
Anyway, guys, that wraps up episode 61 of Off Topic. You can get at us at Off Topic Chat on Instagram and Off Topic Potty on TikTok. Send us your voice memos with anything that you want to hear about. And yeah. Hey, guys, I hope you had a good Easter. Andy, I hope you had a good break.
Thanks. I got one more week left to work. So I'll start my new job.
Hell yeah.
Here comes the money.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. All right, see you later, guys. Peace.
Later.